it was for you guys. Being here this evening as coaches, instructors, potential coaches, whatever, in the most challenging sport in the world, yacht racing, high performance dinghy racing. What is ranked number 2 in the world? Most challenging sport in the world. Answer?
F1.
Well remembered. Formula 1 motor racing is ranked number 2. What is ranked number 3?
Equestrian.
Well remembered. Equestrian, working with the horses,
I've been around a long while.
is ranked number 3. But ranked number 1, yacht racing. High performance dinghy racing is ranked as the most challenging sport in the world. And you want to coach it, be involved in it, okay? And at the end of the day, it's a massive world out there, which coaches obviously need to be thinking a lot about. If we can go on to the next one, please, Gav. Sorry to keep using you up and down or whatever.
That's all right. Keep me busy.
And obviously, as regards gaining the experience, the knowledge that you will gather every time you go out there on the water, working with people. I mean, very briefly, I kicked off as officially as a coach. I did my RYA coaches course back in 1976 when the National Sailing Centre was at Cowes on the Isle of Wight. But since then, obviously, or before then, just before then, I was the Royal Navy coach for 2 years. But then that led me on to obviously joining the Royal Yachting Association and establishing the National Race Training Scheme, and I was there from 1977 to the year 2000. And it was great that the year 2000 for me was the apex of my coaching career on the staff of the RYA, when we sat on the stairs of the Opera House with 3 gold medals and 2 silver medals, and I just sat down and said to myself, as a coach, the last 23 years has been worth it, because that's how long it took to go from nowhere to somewhere, by working with the youth of Great Britain in our sport and getting them fired up and motivated, obviously towards bigger and better things. Some people think it's better, some don't, to be at the Olympic Games and whatever. Then I had the honour of being Olympic team coach at the Atlanta Olympic Games '96, where we got the 2 silver medals. What was interesting about '96 for me was that GBR, as a team, GBR, only won 4 medals. 4. How many did we just win in London? 160 something? But anyway, back in '96, not that many years ago, we only won 4. 2 in sailing. 1 in rowing with Steve Redgrave, his gold medal, and the javelin thrower. The male. Batley, Steve Batley, he won a medal at that Atlanta Games. So we only had 4 medals, and that was it. And 2 of them in sailing, 2 silvers. And what I found very interesting, just to give you a little bit of background to how this all got going, really, was that at the medal ceremony in Atlanta, the chairman of the BOA came from Atlanta all the way down to Savannah, where the sailing was, took the whole sailing team out for dinner, all 16 of us, and at the end of which he put his credit card on the table and he leant over to me, I sat next to him, and said, "Jim, thank God," I'm quoting him now word for word, "thank God you lot did all right." And he paid for our dinner, and I thought that was awesome. But what was more awesome, ladies and gents, was this. Up until that time, i.e. 1977 through to 1996, our budget at the RYA for race training and training was £60,000 to £70,000 per annum. When we came back from Atlanta in the October, we arrived back in September, but in the October we had a nice little phone call saying it's gone up to 2.3 million. There you go. So, an important turning point in British sailing, really, as regards funding, because at the end of the day, sailing, and many people maybe don't know this, But sailing is only measured in two areas, in funding terms. Number one, the World Youth Championships, okay, with the youth team. It's measured at that point, whether we're successful or not, and whether or not we get funding, yeah? And the only other area where it is measured in financial terms is the Olympic Games. And that's it, okay? So if we're not successful in those two areas of our sport, then we don't get the funding. And obviously it goes without saying that since '96, because we've done what we've done in sailing, we've been pretty well funded ever since. In fact, going to Sydney 2000 with that extra money was not the sole reason, with all due respect, but maybe one of the key reasons why we got 3 gold and 2 silver. Because we were able to ship our boats out of London to Sydney in refrigerated containers, okay, which you needed to do. That cost a fortune, yeah? Things like that. We never stayed in the Olympic Village. Our accommodation was right next to the marina, so we didn't have to get a boat ride 45 minutes each way every day, which, you know, is not good for the competitors, yeah? Things like that, you know, all make the big difference. You know, before you even think about getting on the water and doing the coaching bit, yeah? It's all the background stuff. But maybe one key point, a further key point about all this lot here and the experience of doing it, was when we started the programme in 1977, Bob Bond initiated it, God bless him, along with Alistair Mitchell, the Scottish national coach, and they, rightly or wrongly, employed me to get on with it. And obviously we did. But it was only for 5 years. We had a 5-year plan in which to start producing results. 20 press-ups were being laid. And at the end of the day, it was made quite clear that with the GBI Youth Programme, it's got to be successful within a 5-year period. If it isn't, it will be scrapped. Okay? That was the brief. That was what, you know, the RYA said. That was their policy. In the 5th year, okay, in Auckland, New Zealand, Jason Belvin, Andy Hemmings won the World Youth Gold Medal. And had it not been for those 2 ferrets, the whole thing would have been scrapped there and then. So we got those 2 people in the UK to thank for, as it is the rest, as they say, is history. Do you get the idea? And it happened in the 5th year. It took us 5 years to get these ferrets trained up to be good enough to go halfway around the world and win a gold medal. Yeah, and that's what, you know, it's all about. What we do as coaches does not happen overnight. You know, it takes time, mileage, effort, commitment. I can go on and on and on about coaching in any sport. You get the idea? You know, you really got to be committed to it and get on with it. And mark my words, there'll be plenty of disappointments on the way. Yeah, plenty. More than there are, obviously, the achievements, so to speak. But standing here today talking to you guys, obviously, and I look back on my coaching career, I mean, and you know, it's just been incredible how through that GBI youth programme, it just got on a roll. It generated a lot of top ferrets. One of them, 3 gold medals he's got now, started right here in this very club, Stuart Childerley, yeah? And we've won 3 gold medals together, one at the Youth Worlds in '84 and 2 actual gold medals, you know, and he started right out there, through that window, as a young ferret. You know, so they are out there, and you know, we've got to find them, we've got to nurture them, and we've got to get on with the job of kicking them around and making sure they're in the right place at the right time, as you have to be on a starting line. Yes? Okay. Right, next one please.